Hey there, welcome back. We're getting ready to start turn 3. Um, I know I said a lot of good things about the flip book, and you might be noticing that we're not using the flip book very often. The chart that's here is the chart that's in the tabletop simulator. And I will assure you that if you have the physical copy of the game in front of you, these charts are like they're just freestanding sheets that you got them scattered all around you, and there's like a half dozen of them that you have to sift through every time you need to find a chart. The tabletop simulator charts are so convenient because they're right here, and you can just go to it and zoom in and read it, and etc. Uh, these do not fit so nicely on your table in real life. So the flip chart is so much more helpful in real life for that reason, because this chart is super handy right here, because now you're looking at the rules for tank barrage, right? And then everything you need to conduct a tank barrage is right here. You don't have to go find that chart elsewhere. So I'm not using the flip chart nearly as much in this because that for that reason. The thing that the flip chart helps me with immensely is the events and some of these actions. Like, for example, I knew that the barrage action was something that I had to be within the visibility, right? I need to be in the field of fire. However, I forgot about the ore, right? Where if another infantry is in this field of fire, I could still shoot it with my tank. Because it's basically the tank gun is an artillery. It can shoot at a location it can't see if there's somebody else who can observe for it. So that's the reason why the flip chart's very handy. See, I'm at a spot where I still need to reference it because the rules are way too much for me to remember. But landing on the beach, doing this stuff, it becomes very routine. Once you've done it a few times, this is like real easy to grasp. Resolving the fire is most of the time easy to do, and yeah. Now, one thing I realized I forgot to do, and now I'm very upset, is I forgot to do the engineers. So that is very bad, because which of these happened? Well, we know that it was a circle, right? And he got hit, I think, because of the purple or gold circle. So we know it's not this one because this is purple. And then these guys survived because none of them were a circle. And we know green didn't fire. This actually might have been it. Nope, because then over here, we got shot by, I believe it was purple. Yes, because they could do 3 hits. Purple got him. Brown didn't fire, but gold did. Oh, we're in so much trouble. Alright, I gotta pause and look up my old video. Okay, so you're looking at me replaying my video here. This is the West Beach. You can see it's orange, red, and purple. And then I wrote down the other one. It was red, purple, and blue for the first one. So we're going to go ahead and close that out and come back. Also, my voice was really loud when I played it back. So let me know if that's an issue. I'm actually going to try to reduce the gain here. And, so my voice should be a little bit lower now. And maybe that's not an issue for YouTube. See, this is the problem. When I record, whatever I'm using to listen to these videos or even watch them, it's a very different experience than once it's finally loaded on YouTube. They do stuff. And so it's really hard for me to predict. So definitely let me know. Okay, so we don't need these cards anymore. I got it covered. So starting on the east side, Now, what we're doing is we're getting ready to start turn 3, yes, but I forgot to do the engineer phase. So that's what we're trying to resolve. So red, purple, and blue. So red is out, blue is out, right? But starting here, that one's in, but then purple. So there was no new spaces here. The one space we could have done is already clear. So that was a bummer. And then over here it's orange, which is all these, and then red, which is all those, and purple. Oh my goodness. Absolutely nothing can be done on either one. So we went through all that trouble to see if we could do engineers, and there was nothing to do anyways. Okay, so let's go back. We're supposed to use this marker. So, okay, we're on landing checks, right? So we can do that, and then we move here. My problem is I always forget to move the marker. But so let's grab our units that are going to be arriving, and we'll put that just right there. Whoops, I didn't mean for that to happen. They were in separate piles for a reason, because one's over here and the other's... Alright, that's screwed up. Okay, but we're going to do our landing checks. So let's go ahead and draw our first card. We're on turn 3. So diamond is A. So as we go across, we have infantry diamond. Oh, I'm sorry. For landing check, we just have one tank. That's it. So it's a circle. So circle D. And you can see on turn 3, he's going to drift 3 boxes east. 1, 2, 3. So this tank is now out of range. So we couldn't have barraged that anyways if that was... We were trying to help these guys, right? These guys are on their own. The tanks missed their mark. I can't hit that red. I could with this tank. I guess this tank could have helped. But yeah, anyways, the tank drifted and landed and joined these other ones. And that's it. There was only one unit to resolve here. So then the next one is here. We got 3 tanks coming in. Now, remember, these were the tanks that were delayed from turn 1. There was no other stuff landing. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought for sure we had some stuff from turn 2 landing, but I guess not. So anyways, we're going to come here and what do we got here? We have a circle, circle, and a diamond. So circles are C and diamond is A. A is no effect. C is take a damage. So no effect, and both of these take a damage and land. That hurts. And then we get to do, before we do the event, our units now arrive. So we got EG3 here, ER2, DR1, FG4, DW3, FG5, DG2. So we got a big conglomeration here. All right. Now we got to do the event. Let's hope it's a good one this time. Add a depth marker to 1 German unit. That's not a good one. So they're just getting a lot of depth markers, folks. So 1 German unit means closest to the person. It doesn't matter if they're disrupted. So like, for example, this one's 3 spaces away from this unit. So the only eligible one, so already has depth markers, right? So this is the only eligible one. He's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away, so he's out. This one is many spaces away. This one's only 3. So even though he's disrupted, he could still get a depth marker. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one also 4. Yeah, it's going to be this guy. So even though he's disrupted, he could still get one. Alright, let's use the flip chart to try to resolve that. So it was an event. Right here, disrupted units may receive a depth marker. So that's the key thing. And then we just followed this rule. We chose the closest in hexes to US unit. And it has to be, like, we didn't even get to the tiebreaker here. Alright? Okay. So that puts us to, we did the event. Now we do the German fire. And we need to pray a little bit here. There's a lot of units like these two here. We don't want, like, blue is disrupted. So if we draw blue, we're fine. We sort of don't want to draw blue because the longer it stays disrupted, the better. But I would rather draw a blue instead of green or red. Green and red is the ones we don't want. So I know I need to flip this, but I'm being nervous. I'm trying to get myself emotionally ready for what's going to happen. These 3 are in better position. So it's these 2 that are at stake. Remember, our original commander goal was to get one of them through untouched. Let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. Oh, nope, the green is going to get one. We drew a green. So yeah, we're going to get our wish though. One of them is going to get through untouched. Alright, so let's start with blue. Blue is disrupted. So the only thing they do on their turn is remove the disruption marker. And that's it. So nobody gets hit from blue. So from that perspective, we're good. Green now can hit armor. They're going after circle. But remember, green hits intense fire first. And there's only one unit in there, so that's this one. So he takes a hit. Alright. And then, but the problem is green has 4 units. So they can actually hit 4 of us. So we got to keep going. They're going to hit all the circles, including armor, that's in their range. And so we have an armor circle here and an armor circle there. So all of our armor took damage. Okay, that hurt. Having full strength armor was awesome. Not having full strength armor anymore, that means that disrupting these tokens is going to be a lot more difficult. So, yeah, not a fan of that. But there's nothing I can do. That's the way the game goes. And then there's no brown. You always want brown when you're drawing for the east sector. So, no brown. So we're good there. All told, this hurt. But from an infantry perspective, we're okay. One of these is going to make it through. That's not saying he's out of the woods. Look, he could still get hit, right? But it is still tremendous to get off the beach and have only one of the 2 of these get hit. All right, next one. So for this one, we don't want to draw brown. We only want to draw brown when they're on the east. Ah, there's a brown. You jerk. All right, red's first. Red is here, and it's a triangle. And I'm looking, and I don't see any red triangles, so red does no damage. Then blue is second. Blue is way down here. There's nobody in the blue field of fire at all. So from, that's, pick your blessings. That's a small one, but a good one. And then brown, though, this guy for sure is taking the hit. And brown can hit 3 units, so we're looking at brown triangle. There is another unit in his field, but it's not a triangle, so he's okay. And then that's a triangle, but remember, this is not an armor symbol, so the armor's fine. Had he moved here, then yeah, he would get hit. So we're good. The fire phase is over. We took 2 hits. I guess that's to be expected. What's next? Now we got to do the engineer phase. So let's go back here. Now, this is a raging debate on Board Game Geek, but by the time you get to this phase, blue is no longer disrupted. So some people argued that you can't place engineers on blue spaces because the disruption marker is no longer there. But the correct answer to this dilemma, which is the one that I always understood when I read the rules, is it didn't fire because it was disrupted. So it's the equivalent of not even being on the card. Because the whole point of the engineer phase is you get to clear mines wherever they did not fire. So even though the disrupted marker is removed now at the engineer phase, during the time that they were supposed to fire, they weren't able to. And so what that means is we can clear blue spaces even though there's blue on here because blue was disrupted at the time. Unfortunately, we got red. Oh no, they didn't fire either, so we got all of these zones available to us. We just can't do green. So these 2 are not available because they both have green. And purple's available as well. We could do these ones. So and gold. So I think, like, I would like to do these, but these are only purple. Well, there is a purple and a gold, I guess. This is tough. Which ones are more important? I think I'm going to go after the blue and red ones. So we just cleared this and that. Okay, that works. Then we're going to go ahead and do this one. So red is out. Blue is out. So that means from here all the way through to here. And then brown is out. Holy crap, we're not clearing any mines over here. This is not good. The big thing is we need... Oh, you know, the gold's disrupted, but we didn't draw a gold. This spot right here has a red. That's why I can't do that one. Yeah, we gotta disrupt some of these just so we can finally clear some mines. Okay, that phase is over, and now we get to do our actions. So we only get 2 actions, folks, and these tanks are reduced. These are all double strength. So having reduced tanks is not like your chances of barraging them. You have to match the color and the symbol. That's really hard. Really hard. This one could hit this one with just the color. That's the only one we can disrupt. But disrupting 1 out of the 2 is not that helpful. So if anything, I think we just need to get off the beach. So our hope of disrupting these died the moment that we lost our tanks. Now this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we do have 1 full strength tank that could try to disrupt green here for 1 action. But you know what? Orange is fully disrupted. I have to use my action. I get a full strength tank through the beach. This is a preservation move. This is a full strength tank through the beach. That's my 2 actions. I got to do that. Why? Because this is disrupted. They're not going to get hit. I have to do that. As much as I would like to disrupt here, this is a golden opportunity. Golden, pun intended. Yeah. All right, and then even though this guy took a hit, preservation move. I cannot move him. I'm out of actions. Can't move him or him out of actions. These 2, I don't know what to do. I got massive fire. I could move them forward. I think my hope was to wait to see if we could disrupt this. It's not happening, so we're going to push. That is not a concentrated unit. We just can't draw green. Could be a problem. Could be a real problem. Both of those guys are potentially going to die. Alright, that's all my actions for here. Now we come over here. Full strength, preservation, get off the beach. Absolutely done. This is a weird spot to be, though, because now I got to spend an action to move here or here. And I got to look at this. This is the, see, it's a scalable, no, it's an anti-tank ditch. And the anti-tank ditch, infantry can move on it just fine. So that means we could move into here. But understand that if I move into here, that's serious fire for red. One of the things is, if you're up here, he doesn't get double strength because I'm not, you know... The anti-tank ditch, yeah, he gets double strength. But the depth marker is not doubled, is what this is saying. So I could move here and then attack. And I just have, you know, half circles. I definitely don't want to move here. Actually, this one actually might not be bad either. I can move here. And then, yes, it costs me an action. But look at this. If I go here, that's intense fire. Red's got this scoped out so much. I want to defeat red. I don't know if I can defeat red with an infantry unit that has no tank support. If this guy has artillery written on him, he's screwed. But he is full strength, which means he does have all these equipment. So there is a chance that we will be able to defeat red if we attack over the, 6 strength. We can attack over the wall. Ooh, it's a big dilemma. But these two spots here are kill zones for red. And if, from a strategy perspective, I want to take red out first. And then blue is more vulnerable once red is no longer protecting blue. Or I could go here, spend an action to go here, and then have to spend another action to go there. But see this? This is all cliff. If we come back over, it's a slope, right? So where's the slope? We could move over a slope just fine. So what he did was he improved. There's a guy who made a comment that he made this map. So these little train track looking things, the reason they don't match this chart perfectly is because, he modified it a bit. So he made the bluffs orange and the slopes gray. Because, look at this nonsense. This is what a slope looked like on the original board. And you might think, oh, well, that's easy to tell. I don't think it is at all, because look at this here. I mean, other than the solid line there, they look identical. So with the train tracks, though, that's very easy to see that that's a slope. And then the bluff, he already has. Yeah, that's well done, dude. Whatever your name is, you did really good there. This makes this so much easier. So your copy of the game may not have these train tracks. That's and in the comments he said that you can print it yourself from BGG. All right. So yeah, I'm going to commit to go here, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'll move over and attack up. My issue is he has no support, but it's less actions than trying to go here and then swing around or whatever. Alright, this one. Got to get off the beach. So this guy can go here, and he will. And if he can get to here, we're in position that we could do a joint attack. Alright, I gotta look up some stuff now. So this is where the thing comes in. This guy gets a free move that he can go here, but let's wait a second. We gotta look up climb. I should have realized there's a lot of climb markers, or climb words here. Alright. Let's go down to the action phase. Those are combat actions. Tank barrage, resolve attack, depth. Oh, they don't explain what climb does. Okay, so if you're climbing a bluff, you move across the bluff and place a climb marker. So HQs and generals can cross a bluff in one turn. Finish the climb means for free you get to remove the climb. Yeah, so it costs you an action to do, but removing the climb marker, so basically it takes you 2 turns. And then climbing a cliff is more or less the same, except it's infantry only. Okay, I understand it now. So what it's saying is, okay, this is a bluff. If I want to climb this bluff, I move it up, and then I put a climb marker on it. And then next turn, he does nothing but remove the climb marker. It's a free action, though. Like, it cost me an action this turn, but next turn it's a free action to remove that climb marker. But then he'll at least be there and ready to attack this. But he's going to be there, which means he's susceptible to purple and orange fire, just like he is down here. I mean, it's no different. It's just... So if there's anybody I'm going to have do a climb, it's going to be this one. And I need to look up the solid. I think that's a cliff. Yes. It's a scalable cliff. They're both the same for infantry. It would only be an issue if this was a HQ or a general. So I do want to spend one action to have this guy climb. And I'll put that there. So then it becomes, okay, what's my next action going to be? So some of those actions could be, let's get off the beach. This guy and this guy already used their action. I could try to barrage, which they're all weak. So the barrage options sort of disappeared on me. You know what? There is no other real action to do. I'm going to climb. And so we'll get both of these up here. And then this one, this is a rule I did not know about until now in 2024. Based on the comments, since this is not a scalable cliff, I still get a free move until I get to a scalable cliff. So let's go back to... So when you're talking about your free move actions, you could do... two regular and any free. Oh, where's the free actions listed? Right here. Self-preservation. Infantry in a beach hex may conduct a free action consisting of moving to an adjacent beach hex that is closer to protective hex site. If the destination hex is not a beach hex or is equidistant, shingle, seawall, slope, bluff, scalable cliff hex sites are protective hex sites. Sheer cliffs are not. So what's saying is that moving to an adjacent beach is closer to a protective hex site. So a sheer cliff is considered not. Which, it's funny because that sheer cliff is more protective than any of these other things. So in my head, I always thought, okay, I got to start spending actions. But that's why this is a sheer cliff. So I can move one more time to here. And now this is a scalable cliff. So there's no more free actions for this guy. But that's fine. We spent our 2 to climb. And I'm very happy with that result. So we're done with both sides. Our tanks, as you can see, are lingering. And at some point, we got to get them off the beach. One thing, if it's your first time playing, to understand is that these generals are coming. Now, this one doesn't come until after the tide. So you got to get those tanks off the beach before the tide, or otherwise they get destroyed. My tanks are... I'm getting concerned. All my tanks are taking injuries, right? I don't have a single full-strength tank in any of these spots. I did get one reduced tank through. These 2 are fabulous. I'm going to be very excited to get them through. So we are going to get tanks through, yeah, at least on this side, that are full strength. I guess what I'm trying to say is that these generals and whatnot, when they land, they give free movement to anybody around them. So if you get a general to land next to one of these tanks, then the tank can move for free and do barrage actions for free and all that stuff. So that's really nice. And then another controversial thing I did is I put a hero on a tank. And some folks were trying to say heroes can only be on infantry units, but that's not true. A tank can take a hero too. And my logic at the time is, well, I want my tank to get a free action. So anyways, I believe we have now finished turn 3. Yes, we did. So let's grab our cards, discard them, and the shuffle is here. So we are now moving to turn 4. We're at 32 minutes. And at this turn, the German artillery becomes active. So I'm going to look up 2 things. Number 1, we're getting very close to being able to perform an attack. I want to refresh myself on those rules before I start talking about it. And then, of course, I need to look at the artillery. And we'll look at it together, of course, when those situations come up. But I want to at least look like I know what I'm talking about. Thanks. 1 second. All right, I think I got it all sorted out. Yeah, so let's go. All right, we're going to start turn 3 here. Let me just grab the units. Hopefully this time I will put them somewhere where they won't restack themselves. There we go. All right, as always, step 1 is landing checks. So we're going to grab a card. And just one key thing to point out before we start the landing. These anti-air probably... So they can only help support an attack if like a whole checklist of items happens. It's in the thing. You'll be able to look it up. It's just really hard because there's no HQ established yet. And so if you're attacking a spot, you need to have an infantry next to it first. And then you can support the attack, but you can only support the attack if you are also next to the spot or you're next to the infantry. Whereas these units, they're further away, right? Because they have like range. Well, they're very likely not going to be next to the infantry or next to the spot And so if that's the case, then they have to also be in command of an HQ, which they're not going to be because there's no HQ. So like these units are just they're on the beach and you need to get them off the beach, but they're really not helpful to you right now. Like maybe later they will, but and then if they get destroyed, they don't count against your catastrophic loss either. I forgot to mention it's only infantry. So when we lost these tanks down here, yeah, those are destroyed, but they don't count against your win-loss scenario. So it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and go. All right, so we got a diamond A, and so we've got this one here. So for that, we have to look. So we're on turn 4, and we have to look for right here. It's under this category. It's an anti-aircraft, and A is it's delayed for 3 turns. I am totally cool with that because we don't need it right now. So 1, 2, 3, it's delayed to there. Now, why am I cool with that? Well, first of all, he's going to just clutter the beach. There is no self-preservation move, so you have to spend actions to get him off the beach. And if you look 3 turns from now, we're going to be mid-tide. So next time, he's going to land up here, which is almost like getting a free move. So there's a lot of reasons. You know, you don't want him on your beach right now. And then he'll cause concentration issues if you get up to 5 pips, because his pips are just as good as anybody else's. We do have artillery. We do have to resolve artillery, but that is here. So we're going to have to... artillery is going to happen. And what it's saying is there needs to be 5 strength of artillery, adding up to 75s, 88s, and 105s. So there's a 75, there's an 88, so 1, 2, 3, and then these are that's the 105, so that's 4, and yeah, it's, we'll look it up when we get to that phase, but this artillery, what the artillery is trying to do is they're going to start hitting units that are still approaching the beach. That's their top priority. Okay, next up is a triangle. We have a C, and that's an infantry. So we're on turn 4. C is drift 4 boxes east. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he lands there. Very interesting. Then we have a circle, which is B, which is drift 1 box east, and then lands there. Okay. So we're going to come back to this card, because it's going to be used for resolving the artillery, but for now we're going to leave it up there. And then let's do west. Okay, for diamond, we have a diamond anti-aircraft. It's A, and you would think I would remember, but I think we already looked at this one. Delayed 3 turns. 1, 2, 3. So another anti-aircraft delayed. Cool with that. So then we come back. Any other diamonds? No. Triangle B, we have an anti-aircraft. Drift 2 boxes east, and then he lands. So this is 1, 2, and then lands. And then, oh, we have another diamond here, A. No effect. So he lands. And then we have circle C. What is he, infantry? Drift east. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we got a concentrated unit. See, that anti-aircraft's going to cause this infantry to get hit. Ah, what a jerk. Alright, there is no artillery on this side. So when we get to the artillery fire check, it's only going to be that sector. But before we move on, because that's the thing, I'm always wanting to, okay, now the next step, because I'm going across this, the next step is not this, we got to circle back here and do new units approach. So that's this. So we got FG4, ER4, EG2, DR2, DW2, DG1, DG3. Okay, now if we're going through all this, we're here on this step. So let's draw our event. Oh, come on. Another depth marker in each sector. Ay, ay, ay. All right, so this sector has two of them. This one and this one. This one is only 2 spaces away, so he gets it. All right, and then we're coming here. That one is 3 spaces away. This one's 1,000,000 miles away, so he gets it. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, depth marker done. German fire phase. Ooh, all right, let's go. You know what? I think the artillery fire is on this card, not this one. It's not the landing cards. I apologize. It would be on this card that we do. So there's no artillery here. Yes. Yes, I'm getting it right. So I know I revealed it, but we're going to come down here. Okay, so I didn't even check to see, but red circles get hit. So we look at red. This one was in the red circle. This was a circle in the red zone at one point, but he made it through. This is in the red, but there's no circle, so he's fine. Green, only attacking if they're double, which they are. They're attacking armor, circle. There's nobody in the strong fire, so now we just look at circles. So we happen to have 1, 2, 3 circles in their range, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, so they're going to be able to hit 4 units. So this armor is destroyed, this armor is destroyed, and this unit takes a hit. It just landed. And I don't think there's anything else eligible to even get hit, because it can actually hit one more unit because there's 4 strength here. But okay, and then what's the third one? Brown, which is the beautiful color, because there is no brown in the east sector. Now we could resolve the artillery and then jump ahead and resolve the engineers. Now at this point. And I actually think that that's the right way to play the game, to be honest, because we just finished resolving this. So right now we can do the engineers. So we know that red fired, so these are out. Green fired, so these are out. But purple and gold did not fire, so I can, for example, clear that one. And then clear that one. And like I said, no artillery. All right, so let's do this side and hope that we actually had a very good outcome on this side. I mean, I know we lost the 2 tanks, but in all honesty, folks, I don't have enough actions to get all those tanks off the beach anyways, so that just freed up action points. And they were weaker tanks, but trust me, you need tanks, even if they're weak, because they have artillery keyword on them, even if they're weaker. Anyways, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and let's do this one. All right, we are getting artillery with this one. So gold is disrupted. So we're going to go ahead and take the disruption markers off of gold. And I'm pretty sure they both get it removed. Then the blue is only attacking if it's a double, and it is. And, oh, blue's over here. Nobody's in blue, so that's good. And then green, that's this one. And yeah, right here. So this one's going to get reduced. So he's a loss, and that's a catastrophic loss. And so this is A1 116. So he's reduced to just the bazooka man, and that's it. So there's 2 units here, and he hit 2, and that's all she wrote. Alright, so now we got to do the artillery one. So it says 1 and 88. So what it means is you have to have enough artillery points counting only the 88s. The 88 is not hurt in this game. Right there, there's 1. And let's flip over to the flip chart so you can see. So you need to have greater than or equal to artillery value. Count all artillery units in the sector, both the nest and the sector artillery, having that caliber listed on the card. So I just needed 1 88, and that's right here. And then if you come up here, there's an 88 there too. So there's actually 2 88s in here. So it's definitely going to attack. Well, what's it going to attack? Well, they're going to attack whatever the symbol is in the sector that we drew, which is going to be the west sector. They're going to prioritize an infantry unit in the beach landing box. Then the beach hex for non-infantry. Then non-infantry beach landing box, and then eventually infantry on the beach. And they're going to do whatever is the most steps. So they're going after infantry here. So if we look at our thing, we definitely have infantry. And they're going after the most steps, so we have multiple here. So now what? I'm assuming it's going to be... Oh, who do we choose? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. All of them are there. So who gets hit? It does not say, does it? It says 1 U.S. unit. Oh, with the symbol. Oh, hold on. We got to look at the symbol. Triangle. That one. That one. Okay, so now we got 2 of them to choose from. Now how do I choose between those? Because they both have the same pips. Give me a second. I'm going to look up the rule book on this one. Alright, so the answer is we get to choose. So we have to choose the most steps, and if there's still a choice, we get to choose. So this is interesting. This side over here is very strong, and we're not getting a lot of units landing over here. This, we are getting a lot of units landing. In fact, the 1 full strength unit made it across. You could argue that I don't want to hurt this. There's 2 ways to look at it. This side needs help, so let's not injure him. Or you could look at it as, hey, I'm winning here, so let's maximize our strength and annihilate these, and these units can come across and help out over here later. Because like this particular draw here, I can capture the draw pretty handily if all of these are full strength units. Over here, this draw looks impossible to take right now. And I don't know if having 1 more unit there that's strong is even going to make a difference. Like, that's 2 different ways to look at it, I guess. The other thing is these are really powerfully strong units. Look at them. They're 7 strength. They're heavy weapons because they got a range of 2. So, I don't know what the right choice is. I'm going to go ahead and hit this one. My logic is I have a full strength here. And if this guy somehow miraculously makes it through, I'm going to need him. Because you need a full strength to get through. That is absolutely mandatory. That artillery hurt, for sure. Alright, so then, before I get too moving on, let's do our engineer thing. So, the blue. And then the green. And then the yellow. Oh my goodness, it happened again. Yellow was disrupted. Yellow was disrupted. So let's finally get some clear markers out. I'm going to do here and there. Okay, so we did the artillery phase. We did the engineer phase. Now it's our turn. This side, I have so many dilemmas. Right now, I can attack this with this as support, and I would do very well because this is a 10 strength. I have a lot of confidence that this thing is going to get wrecked. The problem is I'm sitting here in the intense kill zone, and the disruption marker got removed. So I think I have to spend both of my actions getting my tanks through, which I will. Now they're behind this wall, which is, I think that's an anti-tank wall. Or just a sea wall. Yeah, it's just a sea wall, because he made it, yeah. So I don't think tanks can move through a sea wall. Let's look. Right here. No, not unless it's a road. So can't go into a seawall hex. That's okay. So this tank is next to him. And for 2 actions, I can have both of these attack here. And I'm probably going to wreck him, similar to here. It's just that I wanted to do it as quick as possible, because the sooner you take these out, the sooner the beach clears up, and you're not taking casualties. Now this tank is not as useful being over here. I could have doubled him up, but by having him here, he can support anybody that's going this way. He can also try to do some barrages. There's options. And having 2 full strength tanks make it through is fantastic. And they're also in the very hard to hit zone. Now the problem with that is both the actions are gone. So I can't move this tank, I can't move that tank, I can't attack. But I can do preservation. So this guy, there's no more moves I can do. So it costs him an action to get up. But he can't do anything. This one can move, but now these are highly intense fire zones. That's not good. He already took a damage because we chose to. We could try to get this guy up. I mean, that would make him susceptible to red. Oh, you know what? These were concentrated. Yeah, I definitely got to get him up. This one can't move. I need an action. This one's almost dead. But he made it through. So then the question just becomes this guy. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I just feel like if I move here, it's just a death wish. I think I'm going to have to wait. Maybe, these 2 units will be able to start tearing these apart. Would have been nice for this one to have tank support. Waiting is a bad move too, because by turn 7, everybody drowns if they don't get up. But I can wait until that happens and move up then. There's no rush to just go into, yep, I'm just going to be scaredy cat and stay back. Oh, I damaged the wrong guy. It's this one that took the damage. Not him. Him. I had to damage somebody on that's approaching the beach. So it was this one. That one's full strength. That's even more reason why I don't want to move up. I need a lot of help to get through. He landed at the worst spot. Like, this one's even better, because now you're only dealing with one intense fire. These 3 spots here are just kill zones. Okay, that's enough with that. They're both done. We have 2 catastrophic losses. I do need to check that a ranger counts. I'm assuming it does. To me, it's an infantry, but they do separate it. So 1 second. No, let's look. Let's use our flip book. Okay, so where is catastrophic loss described? This flip book could be better. When I'm asking questions that it doesn't answer, then it's not sufficient. Alright, I got the rule book next to me. 1 second. Okay, I could not find it in the rules, and definitely not in the... I had to use Board Game Geek, basically. But there is like a catastrophic loss section. It says you lose the game if one of your divisions suffers catastrophic loss. But it doesn't explain where's catastrophic loss defined. And maybe I'm just missing the section. That's possible. So, after looking on Board Game Geek, it is regular infantry units, catastrophic loss. I did always know that it happens the moment you're down to 1 step. So this is considered catastrophic loss, even though there is a 1-step unit of it still alive. That is true. I did not do that part wrong. The bigger thing was the ranger, and the answer is regular infantry. So this ranger, even though it got destroyed, it does not count towards the catastrophic loss. So it's just like a tank. Alright, so we lost 1 unit so far. Now back to this unit. I just think it would be suicide. So I'm staying back. I may have already explained that, but yeah. Let's move on. So I want to get to a point where I can start attacking. These 2 are ready to attack here, which is excellent. So now I got a position here. I need to get an infantry to there. So I'm going to use 1 action. And this is what's considered a flank. Now, flank is something that sometimes is required to defeat a unit. And it's not a weapon, but you have to actually be in a physical location. And this is a flank. Now, will this say flank on it? I have no idea. But when I'm choosing to either go here or here, I chose here for that reason. Now, this one's actually more dangerous because now I'm in the blue zone, but it's really hard to get hit in those zones. They only disrupt you if they're hitting you there. And I need to be mindful because they don't have to match symbol or anything. So if you're in those zones, you just get disrupted whether the symbol matches or not. So, like here, if he drew a purple, this guy would get disrupted. Or here for the orange. Assuming the orange or purple can't hit anything else. So, free action. I get to remove those climb markers. Those are free. I still have 1 more action left. I'm thinking I want to get this guy in position. Right? So we can attack here. That's a good possible move. Or I can start climbing this way, but that turns this into a concentrated unit. And I don't know if I want to do that. I can't climb these Like I could climb this guy to here potentially, but the issue is, excuse me, the issue is um, I already took an action this turn. My larger concern is I have a preservation move here that I can't do because this is going to be a concentrated unit. Now, I could move here, you might think, but I think this preservation move always has to get you closer to the destination. This is still one space away from my destination. So I got to stay here. I don't want to create a... I got basically a logjam going on. I could next turn spend one action to do that, which then allows me to spend another action to do that, and then I can do that. But then I won't be able to attack this one. So the logjam problem is a real issue. I can try to get this one off the beach. Already been hit once. He could drift and land. Sure, get you off the beach. Do I dare do that? No, I don't. I think I want to spend my action to do that. I know they look different, but these are the exact same as this. So he's not getting into a worse situation at all. So that's my two actions. Alright, we're done. This is getting stressful. Alright, we move to turn 5. First thing we do is landing checks. Okay, so here, there's not that much stuff that needs to land. We have a circle, infantry, and a diamond. The circle is B, and the diamond is A. So let's look at our infantry. A is no effect, B is drift 1 east. So diamond is no effect. B is drift 1 east. Which actually that worked out because we don't want concentration. Next one. Diamond is A. So for infantry, that's no effect. That's not concentration. So we got 2 lands. Triangle is A. So no effect. That's not concentration. Then circle is B, which is drift 1 box east. That is concentration. Because of that dang anti-aircraft again. Alright, and then we got to do new units approach, which is the thing that I always forget to do because I'm looking here. This is an artillery unit on FG. I needed to drop it so I could read it. Okay, when it says FG but no number, that means I get to choose where I place it. That is interesting. I think I'm going to choose there. There is a temptation to choose here, but if you're way off the edge of the map, your HQ units are going to be more centralized, and they could get lost. It's going to cost you actions to try to get them, back in command. So we got a DR, so just any of these 3 spaces, which is interesting. we are looking really good here. If this guy gets across, we're getting good over there. We have two great guys here, but this is kill zone. So I want to get as far away from that kill zone as possible. But my problem is he'll just drift east and go there. If I go here, banking on the fact he's going to drift east, then maybe he... but we'll try that one. We got a backlog here. This one's a DW. So any of these three spots. It's an artillery. I'm going to choose that one. Oh, and there's our general. So the general... Whoops. They don't check for landing hazards. They're not affected by mines. They need not be placed alone if there's other units scheduled to arrive on the same turn. There's a max of 2 units per box, but generals don't count. Then any HQ units and generals have free actions. Any unit in the command of a general has free actions. And any unit that's stacked with the general or adjacent. So you want the general to be around as many people as possible because they all get actions. And you also want the general to, like for example, be maybe with the artillery, right? Because he can move the artillery off the beach. So he'll be able to give the artillery action. He'll also be able to give that tank an action. So by having these guys land here, he can get these guys off the beach. So that's what we'll do. We'll put a general there. And we have an HQ also coming on the draw, DW. I don't need him next to the general. The HQ is similar to a general. Because right there, the command of an HQ or a general is the same. They both do the same thing. So technically, maybe I want to move the general over here, so that way we could get these guys motivated to get off the beach. Put the HQ over here to motivate these guys. If I have an HQ sitting right there, I'm giving free actions to these tanks. So now I can attack and I don't have to spend actions for those tanks to barrage or do whatever they're doing. And it also helped me get some of these guys off the beach. Well, they get their own moves to get off the beach, but like if the HQ was here, I can make these guys move this way. But that's not the case. I have to stay in the DW, which is there's only 3 spots. I don't remember 2 of these arriving at the same time in DW, but it clearly says that. So, and here's a ranger unit anywhere in DG, and then it has a star. I wonder what the star means. I want the ranger unit to go. Oh, I gotta pause. My dog's gonna go nuts. Okay, so I am back. My dog is still barking a little bit. So that star is just a reminder that the ranger units can always choose to land on Charlie. So even though it's designated for DG, I can choose to do Charlie, and I will. I'm going to land it as far to the right as possible. There is no brown here, so brown's not a concern. And if we land, then we can move up and then hopefully climb. And if we drift, that's okay too. So anyways, that's it. That's our landing. We are done. Or that's new units approach. We have not had a good event this entire time. Here we go. We finally got one. Place a hero marker on any one U.S. unit in 1st Division. And then add a depth marker. So basically, wherever we put the hero, the depth marker needs to go in the same section. So first division, of course, is over here. This is the section. So the only one that does not have a depth marker is here. So it's not even a matter of debate. We just put it there. And then I get to add a hero to a unit. And this is very interesting. So I could attack right here. But, well, can I attack a bluff? I think I can. Nope, attack prohibited. So I gotta climb again before I can attack here. But this one couldn't attack, but see, he has lost some strength. So if we put a hero on him, he will supply one weapon that's not supplied here, or he will add one strength to the unit and make that a 5 strength instead of a 4. Ideally, you want to put him on a full strength unit like down here, but they still got to get through the kill zones, and there's a good chance they're not a full strength unit by the time they get through. And then, like I said, the general gets a free, or the hero gets a free action. So I can give the hero to, for example, the tank, and then that tank will now be able to support fire for free. And again, the general gives you a weapon that you're missing. I don't think that I can, like, for example, give the tank, for example, a radio. Because radios aren't on tanks to begin with. Like, I don't think I can abuse it that much. But I could put it here. So I'm spending one action to attack, and then this is a free action. But it makes no sense, because both of these cost an action to attack with, so I might as well put the hero here. So this is free action. I just have to spend one action to attack this. Then I can use my other action to start getting these people up the cliff. Because we do have to spend actions to get them up the cliff. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do. So we already placed the depth marker. Let's grab our hero. Let's have Mr. Spaulding. We're going to give the hero to an already damaged unit. Oh, although this one's a full strength. And that lets me attack him. Ooh. I really loved this idea, because he's going to compensate for their missing equipment. But I like this one more. Like, they're not missing any equipment, but he now turned that into a 7 strength unit. And it lets me attack without having to do anything. I don't know. I don't. Like, this unit's closer to dying. And when it dies, you lose the hero. This one will last a lot longer. Oh, debate. We're going to do this one. And then that helps because, look, he's really close to that. But that's not necessarily the logic or the reasoning. Okay. These guys are bottlenecking. I need more actions. So now we're going to do the German fire phase. So we're going to start with this side. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. We don't want a green, if possible. Let's see. First, we're going to start with red. They're going to attack diamond. Oh, come on. Come on. I guess I'm glad I put the hero there then. They're going to hit this one. And they hit this one. That was horrible. Purple. This guy. He's attacking diamond. This one. And this is the part I was missing before. This guy gets disrupted. See, because when you do the check, oh, it says with target symbol. I apologize. They gotta have the target symbol. Alright, that's it. And then blue. Gets back to this one. He's already been hit. He's already been hit. Those are the only two within blue. This one's in blue, but it's not a diamond. So blue would have hit both of these guys, just like red did. So it didn't matter. We were getting hit twice. And there is no artillery. Oh, let's do the engineers. Alright, so we have red, we have blue, we have purple. So gold and green is available, but that one's... Oh my gosh, purple... There's nothing to clear. Our mine clearing is not going well. Okay, let's go over here. What am I don't want red. Okay, we at least got our wish on this side. So we have gold. That's these guys. They're going after circles. So nothing here. Nothing here. This is a gold circle. So he takes a hit. Oh, these are concentrated. Crap, they both take a hit. Because they're concentrated. This one would also take a hit. 1, 2, 3. They're dishing out 4 hits. So, man, all 3 of them. This one is disrupted. They get to hit 4 things. And they sure and shoot did. Alright, so red. Or I'm sorry, blue. I'm looking at it, I see the R and I say red. Blue, circle. There's nobody in blue, so actually blue is like a gift right now. There will be when this guy lands, but green. Circle. This unit's completely eliminated. Nope, nope, nope. They are disrupted. This is an armor, so he's fine. That's not in green. We're good. And actually, this guy already got hit. So, alright, we survived. And then, so blue. Purple is clear. But green is not. And then gold. We cannot clear anything. My goodness. Okay, next we do our actions. I'm really excited to take this down. We have 2 actions here. We're going to spend them to attack with this guy, and we're going to support with him. So let's do that attack there. So this is a unrevealed nest, of course. So it's unrevealed depth marker and a unit. So this would be a revealed depth marker, right? So we can't do this one. So this is the column we're using. And we need to have the required weapons and then our attack strength compared to theirs. So the first thing that's going to happen, though, is we're only going to reveal the top. So even though there's 2 units here, we don't get to see the depth marker and what it says. We only see the top. So our strength is going to be 6 plus 4 is 10. I have all my weapons, and then we're adding the tank as well. So the tank is adding MG and AR. We already have the bazooka and the Browning covered. but AR and MG is being added by the tank. But the more important thing is that we're going to have 10 strength, and I want a lot of strength because we're attacking over a shingle, right? And when you attack over a shingle, the unit strength is doubled, but the depth is not. And we don't reveal the depth marker at all unless we get a good outcome here. See, you get to reveal the depth marker and compare again. So if we do double strength and we have all the weapons, we can reveal the depth marker, compare again, and possibly we can eliminate the depth marker and disrupt the unit, or completely eliminate the whole thing. So that's what we got going for us here. Let's drum roll, please. 10, 2, oh my gosh, it's just a 1. So he only has a strength of 1. He needs a BG, which is a Bangalore, I believe. Yep, and we have it. So we are 10 strength to 2, basically. So we're here. Our attack strength is at least double, and the answer is yes. So now we're going to reveal the depth marker, and we get to do this column. So let's see what happens. Tactical reinforcement. I wasn't ready for that one. Tactical reinforcement is so if the depth marker calls for tactical reinforcement, a German unit is defeated, which is actually what we want. But now we got to do a tactical reinforcement, though. So if it reads tactical reinforcement, then we remove the depth marker from play. Occupied German reinforcement position nearest to that position, even if it has no ID number. Alright, so what are they talking about? They're talking about here. See these tactical reinforcements? So we're going to draw this first one. And this is getting destroyed. So they're going to go into the nearest one, which is that one. Because 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So now there's a unit that appeared there. And it's going to be, again, it's not turned face up. If it's in a building hex, draw from the building pool. I thought there was an... Here, reinforcements. DR units enter play with depth marker. Place the unit face down without a depth marker in an empty reinforced position. Oh, DR, I see. Position adjacent to a US unit. Lowest numbered position if 2 or more adjacent. Alright, this is confusing me. I mean, I understand this part, but we still do the tactical reinforcement. See, the technical reinforcement pool is not empty. Yeah, so this is just saying we go do the reinforcement event. Here, let me look at the real rule book and see if that's what it says. Okay, the rules address this perfectly. If it's from a depth marker, which this is, it goes in the nearest reinforcement position that's empty, even if there's no identifier, which is exactly what that is. And it does not have a depth marker. So this, I'm going to put it face up just to show we have to shuffle them. And this, so this is destroyed. We got it, and they can never replace that one. So we cleared this, but unfortunately there's another one that can still shoot all the gold hexes, but one's down. And if I move this to here, I can do another attack with support again. So it's looking good for the home team, but that took both of our attacks there. So the bigger challenge is I still have the kill zone. This is not as bad. I can move it up, but now I run the risk of, having concentration, but I still got to do it. This one, I took a gamble. That's a free move. I got to gamble again. So I'm either choosing here or here. I don't know which one's the right one. I'll go ahead and choose here. These guys have not landed yet, so they don't technically have a command. So I don't get free actions yet. This one can't remove his disruption. Removing disruption requires... Oh, is that a free action? Let's try the flip book. Yeah, disrupted marker. So his free action is to remove the disruption. And then this is the one that's stuck. That's a horrible move. That's a better one. We're going to have to try it. Remove a disruption marker. We're done with this side. So now we go here and we got all kinds of shenanigans. The first thing we're going to do is hero has a free action. I'm attacking red here. Now this is across a, what is that again? An anti-tank ditch. So an anti-tank ditch, unit strength is doubled but not the depth. It's the same as a shingle. So we have, because we got hit, we're reduced to 4 strength. So it is doubled. So now it's 4 against 4. Alright. He needs BZ and BR. We have BZ, but we don't have BR. So I got to use the hero to give him the BR. I can't use the hero to give him 1 more strength. So the attack strength is equal, but we do have a yes. He has an unrevealed depth marker. There's no effect. We didn't even harm him. So, but we at least know what we need to defeat him. And so now that I have the hero here, I can move. I can move this around, but and it's a free action at least, so I can at least position him to try to do something a little better. But that was disappointing. I was really hoping to at least reduce him. And kill zone, very, very bad kill zone. I don't want to move him. So then my next dilemma is this guy is tearing him up. 1 climb action is all it takes to get here, and then he has a free reign to attack here without any penalty. Or I can attack with these two, because this one's ripe. I could choose not to do... See, I'm above the shingle, so I can choose not to do this one. Yeah, that's actually what I'm going to do. So I'm going to attack with him, but not do the support. I know it may be a big mistake, but I need an action to get him off the cliff. So we got to climb. I could do another climb. I think I want to attack though. So let's try it. So it's just a 1. He needs MO and BR. Oh my gosh, he's weak. Oh no. We have the BR, but we don't have the MO. I wasn't even paying attention to that. He's got the MO. Yeah, so preservation move. We'll move him up. He has what it takes to defeat this. So between these two, we can take it down. But it's a 2 versus... Or I'm sorry, it's a 1 versus 4. We have double the strength, but it's no on the weapons. So we at least disrupt him. That's good. So he gets a disruption marker. And I probably should have used an action to do a climb. That could have gotten him off the beach. This one is sort of stuck. It takes an action to move him. This is a kill zone here. So this spot is not a good spot to be. I can't attack. Can't do anything. I'm just sitting there. It is what it is. Alright. That was our 2 actions. It was 1 to attack with him and 1 to climb. Okay, yeah, we're done. Turn is over. Alright, we are moving to turn 6. I'm at an hour and a half. Gonna go ahead and end the video here. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome.